Coming up on Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports, it's goodbye to the regular season and hello to the playoffs, but not before some long-awaited showdowns took place. Brazoria County was home to a duel of two squads ranked in the state's top 5, and it's also home to one of the area's top marching bands. Chevy's Inside High School Sports, holding the key to your playoff dreams. It's next.
Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the Houston area Chevy dealers.
Greetings once again as we conclude the regular season here on today's edition of Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports. I'm Matt Musil, and it's great to have you along for the ride as we get you caught up on last night's high school football action. The long-awaited showdown between Manville and Pearland takes center stage. Both teams were undefeated, both in the state's top 5, and both in search of a district championship. To the rig in Pearland we go for the Mavericks and the Oilers. It's our Chevy Inside High School Sports Game of the Week. No love lost between these teams, but there is plenty of respect. And the first quarter belonged to De'Eric King. The junior had 3 touchdowns for Manville through the air in the opening quarter, the first of which came on the first play from scrimmage. This 19-yard pass to Matt Adams made it 7-0. And King can scramble also. An amazing juke to the inside gets everyone to bite, and he's gone. 48 yards for the score, 14-3 Manville. But in the second, Pearland would rally and strike. Jake Blumrick to Ryan Diaz from 41 yards out to make it 28-17. Then it's Xavier Pinkston, a 1-yard run for the score, and it's a ball game all of a sudden, 28-24 at the break. Now in the third quarter, Pearland cuts it to 28-27, but King would extend Manville's lead. He hooks up with Hemphill Maps for the third time to make it 35-27 Manville. In the fourth, the Oilers drive it all the way down the field. Pinkston with another touchdown run to make it a 2-point deficit, 35-33, and Pearland goes for 2. It's a wide receiver reverse pass, but Manville reads it perfectly, intercepting at the goal line, and that was the deciding play. Manville wins the district. The final over Pearland, 35-33. What an exciting time for high school football, and congratulations again to Manville. But the game, wasn't the only significant event happening at the rig last night. Walmart and Dr. Pepper Snapple Group's Project Rebuild, in conjunction with the Military Warriors Support Foundation and Wells Fargo, were all on hand to make sure that one of America's true heroes will have a bright future. You could see it in the faces of the players and the fans. You could see it in the way the coaches seemed a bit more on edge. You could hear the cheerleaders cheer just a bit louder. Yes, this game between Pearland and Manville certainly meant something to all who attended. But for one individual at the game, just the opportunity to be at the game was something special. That's because for Matthew Webb, the opportunity was not guaranteed.
It's truly crazy. Just being in the area is really awesome. Coming out here is really amazing. It's like a completely new chapter in my life starting,
Matthew Webb is a U.S. Army veteran that came close to losing his life several times while serving overseas. His service and sacrifice did not go unnoticed. That is why on this night, before Pearland and Manville took the field to play football, they shared the spotlight with Matthew Webb. But tonight, it wasn't just about taking a moment to say thank you. It was about helping rebuild a life. That's where the Military Warriors Support Foundation comes in. Dedicated to serving our veterans and their needs, the foundation has presented over 600 mortgage-free homes to veterans since they formed back in 2007. And tonight, it was Staff Sergeant Webb's turn.
Today, Walmart, Dr. Pepper Snapple Group's Project Rebuild program, the Military Warrior Support Foundation, and Wells Fargo are honored to present Matthew Webb with a gift of a fully renovated 100% mortgage-free home located in Houston, Texas.
It's so important, and the partnership that Walmart and Dr. Pepper and Snapple has is huge. I mean, we brought Project Rebuild into the stores and got the community involved, and really being here and seeing this family get this new home, it makes it all worth it. And I just so wish every customer could see that and see what we saw tonight, because I think that they would appreciate it that much more.
Wells Fargo makes a donation of a house, but essentially it is the veteran coming home because they make that house their home, and it just is a strong foundation for them to be successful.
I mean, it's an honor, honestly, for us to be able to give back to a veteran, especially so close to Veteran Day. I mean, the big thing about the whole thing for us is just the whole Project Rebuild, what it means to give back, what it means back for Dr. Pepper Snapple Group to work with Walmart and find ways to give back to our heroes.
Well, rewarding this veteran tonight puts the game in perspective. This guy's a hero. These guys on the football team, they'd love to be able to emulate this kind of a story in their own lives.
For Matt and his family, being honored in front of thousands of fans is a reminder that the sacrifices that he made are appreciated and recognized by a community he will now be able to call friends and neighbors.
The best feeling in the world. I've never had anything like this happen, ever, and just very blessed and thankful.
So while you could see many things on the faces of the people in attendance at the Pearland-Manville game last night, for Matthew Webb, it was pride, joy, and appreciation for a new life for his family in an incredible community he will now call home. Isn't that fantastic? Our thanks to Matthew and his family for their sacrifices, and we wish them all the best, and we are proud to call them Houstonians. All right, we have a lot more to get to on today's edition of Chevy's Inside High School Sports. When we return, we look at a battle on the Northeast side that will settle the District 21 5A championship. Stay with us.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the year. So it's no surprise that Chevy Silverado is the most awarded pickup of 2014 and is from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Now it's time to reward yourself at your Texas Chevy dealer. Trade up to get a total value of $9,000 on this 2014 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition. See your Houston area Chevy dealers.
Dr. Pepper Snapple Group has teamed with the Military Warriors Support Foundation to help create Project Rebuild to assist in rebuilding the lives of our combat wounded veterans.
These heroes have done so much for us. It's time for us now to help them rebuild their lives.
Look for the Project Rebuild display at Walmart and help award mortgage-free homes to combat wounded veterans by purchasing Dr. Pepper Snapple Group products.
Because we are changing lives with Project Rebuild.
Did you post it?
Done.
How many people are coming?
Lots.
Yeah.
Got it. Done. Done.
Sending you some money.
Thank you.
Done.
Like a lunch bag? Here you go, man. Thank you.
Done.
On your phone, online, on the go. Wells Fargo makes it easy to get banking done.
Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Come visit your nearest dealer to test drive the all-new Silverado today.
Good morning again. I'm Matt Musil, and we're so glad you're spending your morning with us here on Chevy's Inside High School Sports. You know, despite suffering a loss last Saturday night to Kingwood Park, C.E. King is having a breakout season as the Panthers clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2008. And a district championship was still up for grabs for the Panthers, but they'd have to knock off their neighbor Crosby, who entered the game undefeated. Let's take a look. King's Jonathan Brantley hits Desmond Coleman on a 22-yard touchdown pass to put King up after one quarter, 7-0. In the second, Crosby's Carlos Grace fights for 6 yards in the score. We're all tied up at 7. Then just before the half, Crosby's Tristan Cotton passes to Craig Williams, 30 yards and a touchdown. Cougars take a 14-7 halftime lead. In the third quarter, King with the ball. Jonathan Brantley to Desmond Coleman, 15 yards in the score. We're tied at 14 all. And then Trey Williams busts one big. He goes 72 yards all the way down to the Crosby 3-yard line. Williams 227 yards on the ground. From there, Williams 3 yards and a touchdown. King on top 21-14. And after winning 6 games the past 2 years, C.E. King gets a share of the district championship. 28-21 the final. Taking advantage of the bye week, Texans linebacker Whitney Merciless was on hand for the coin toss to get the 38th meeting between Elsick and Hastings underway. And early on, E.J. Davis gets it going for Elsick with a short touchdown run, 6-0 Rams. Still in the first, Davis cuts back and runs for a 22-yard score, 13-0 Elsick. Davis finished with 156 yards on the ground. Elsick wins 40-16 and will play Clear Springs at 7 o'clock next Friday at Hall Stadium. Westside and Lamar over at Del Mar, and the Texans didn't waste any time getting on the board. On their first play from scrimmage, Ronnie Wesley breaks through and goes untouched, 60 yards for the touchdown, and just like that, it's 7-0 Lamar. Quarterback J.W. Ketchum airs this one out into the end zone. Tyreek Gray with a great catch goes over the concrete wall. A tremendous catch, even though it didn't count. In the second quarter now, and this time Wesley stacked up, but no, he isn't. The extra effort gets him into the end zone. That makes it 28-0 Texans, and Lamar goes on to win big, 57-7. Kempner and Austin ending the regular season at Mercer Stadium. Austin needs a win and some help for the postseason. Bulldogs on their first drive. Jackson Steele airs it out for Lorenzo Martinez for a 50-yard touchdown strike as Austin takes a 7-0 lead. In the second half, the Bulldogs backed up on their own 5-yard line, but Orrin Nicholson flips the field position with this great run. Nicholson takes off for a 79-yard scamper all the way down to the Kempner 16. Moments later, Jackson Steele connects with Connor Adams in the back of the end zone for the score, 16-0 Bulldogs, and they go on to win 23-6 over the Cougars. In a big private school matchup, St. Thomas hosted St. Pius X with a district title on the line, and Eagles quarterback Michael Keating gets St. Thomas on the board early with his 53-yard touchdown run, making it a 7-0 contest. In the second quarter, with St. Thomas up 10-0, St. Pius quarterback Clayton Roberts hits Sam Batuli in the back of the end zone, cutting the Eagle lead to 10-7. Late in the first half, it's Roberts again, finding Jalen Smith for a big gain all the way down to the 1, from where the Panthers scored to go up 14-10 at the half. But St. Thomas came back strong in the second half, and St. Thomas wins it 38-14. And there's still plenty of action to go on today's edition of Chevy's Inside High School Sports, including a must-win situation for a school on the Far East Side. We'll have more highlights after this.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the year. So it's no surprise that Chevy Silverado is the most awarded pickup of 2014 and is from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Now it's time to reward yourself at your Texas Chevy dealer. Trade up to get a total value of $9,000 on this 2014 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition. See your Houston area Chevy dealers.
Did you post it?
Done.
How many people are coming?
Lots.
Yeah.
Got it. Done. Done.
Sending you some money.
Thank you.
Done.
Like a lunch bag? Here you go, man.
Thank you.
Done.
On your phone, online, on the go. Wells Fargo makes it easy to get banking done.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance right now, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today. We can provide you with affordable insurance options with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. Call now. And just for calling, as a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 123. Call today.
Good morning once again. I'm Matt Musil, and we're so glad that you're along for the ride this morning as we look back at another wild night on the gridiron. Through the first 5 games, Channelview was undefeated and averaging 60 points per game, but the Falcons were .500 after that. So Channelview found itself in a must-win situation. Beat LaPorte, and the Falcons are in. Lose, and the final spot in District 21-6A goes to Beaumont Westbrook. Let's head out to the stadium for the Falcons and the Bulldogs. In the first quarter, LaPorte's David Terrebonne takes a handoff and has room to run. It's a 37-yard carry before he's dragged down at the 6. And then the Cobra strikes. Cobra Jones on the handoff, fighting his way into the end zone. 7-0 Bulldogs. Channelview now at the Bulldog 20. Quarterback Jalen Hurts flings one into the end zone for Bryant Valentine. Touchdown Falcons. Game tied at 7. 10-7 LaPorte now in the second quarter. Channelview's Chris Jefferson makes a couple of moves and runs it in for the 16-yard touchdown. 14-10 Falcons. But the Bulldogs come back from their own 45. It's Austin Upshaw with the read option, and he takes it right up the middle. Nobody's going to catch him. 55 yards on the score. 17-14 LaPorte at intermission. In the third quarter, LaPorte driving at the 22. Upshaw keeps it. He'll make his way into the end zone for the score. 24-14 Bulldogs. The Falcons trying to fight their way back into this one. Jefferson gets the handoff and goes 70 yards for the touchdown. Falcons cut it to 24-20. After a couple of LaPorte field goals, make it 30-20. LaPorte puts the capper on late in the fourth with Nathan Redd's 22-yard touchdown, and the Bulldogs win this one 36-20. Klein Oak knew it was playoff bound, but Spring needed a win to punch a ticket to the postseason. Leading 3-0 in the second quarter, Klein Oak's Jose Blankenship gets free and goes 35 yards to the score to make it 10-0 Panthers. Spring answers, though. Alex Woods to Xavier Jones. He makes a move, and then it's 41 yards to the end zone. 10-7 Klein Oak at the break. In the third quarter, Jones gets 55 of his 242 yards on the night on this touchdown run, and he's gone. 14-10 Lions take the lead. Then Klein Oak on their own 1, running play up the middle. Ball comes out. Spring's Eric Spencer picks it up and goes 12 yards for the touchdown. Just like that, Spring is up 21-10. At the start of the fourth quarter, Klein Oak's Jose Blankenship with a 1-yard keeper, cutting the Spring lead to 21-16. But Spring would find the end zone again. Alex Woods with a keeper from 5 yards out, making it 28-16. And then Woods goes deep to Ronald Williams, who hauls it in and into the end zone as Spring wins 41-16 to reach the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. The Lions will face Atascocita next week, while Klein Oak will host the Woodlands at 7 on Friday night. Texas City was hoping to kick third-ranked Ridge Point off of the list of unbeatens. But here's Jesse Krebs with a deep ball to a wide-open Connor Talbot. This goes down to the Texas City 13-yard line. A few plays later, Remus Bulmer pounds it in from the 1, and it's 21-0 Ridge Point. Texas City defense now goes to work. Troy Alexander feeling the pressure, and he gets wrapped up by the Stingarees as the pocket collapses. Andre Smith comes away with the fumble recovery. But Ridge Point's Alexander gets another crack later in the quarter. He swings the pass out to Bulmer, who avoids the defense and totes it 48 yards for the touchdown. And Ridge Point rolls to a 48-7 win to finish off a perfect 10-0 regular season. Cy Woods fans were hopeful that the Wildcats would clinch a playoff berth, a win over Cy Springs, and they'd be in. In the first quarter, Cy Springs quarterback Francisco Almanza from his own 15 going deep, and he finds Donnell Dunn. Dunn with an 85-yard catch and run, touchdown, and it's 6-0 Panthers. Now Cy Woods with the option pitch to R.J. Harmon. He makes one man miss, and it's a 31-yard touchdown run, 7-6 Wildcats. Still in the first quarter, and Woods quarterback Nick Hooper airs one out deep for Jordan Johnson. Nice catch at the 20, leading to another score, making it 28-12 Cy Woods. In the second quarter, 35-12 now. Cy Springs at their own 12. Almanza with a screen to Donnell Dunn, and Dunn looks like he's shot out of a cannon. He zips 88 yards for the score, cutting the lead to 35-20. But Cy Woods' R.J. Harmon responds with his third touchdown of the half. The final score at the Berry Center, 70-44 Cy Woods, and the Wildcats will next take on Memorial next week in the first round. And with that, our football regular season portion of the year is over. Congratulations to all the teams who have survived to reach the postseason, and to the schools that didn't advance, good luck next year and to improving this offseason. All right, up next on Chevy's Inside High School Sports, we look at a band who is rising up to the ranks. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the year. So it's no surprise that Chevy Silverado is the most awarded pickup of 2014 and is from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Now it's time to reward yourself at your Texas Chevy dealer. Trade up to get a total value of $9,000 on this 2014 Silverado Double Cab All-Star Edition. See your Houston area Chevy dealers.
Dr. Pepper Snapple Group has teamed with the Military Warriors Support Foundation to help create Project Rebuild to assist in rebuilding the lives of our combat wounded veterans.
These heroes have done so much for us. It's time for us now to help them rebuild their lives.
Look for the Project Rebuild display at Walmart and help award mortgage-free homes to combat wounded veterans by purchasing Dr. Pepper Snapple Group products.
Because we are changing lives with Project Rebuild.
Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Strickland Chevrolet. Come test drive the all-new Silverado today.
Welcome back to Chevy's Inside High School Sports. I'm Matt Musil. Pearland Dawson moved up to the state's highest classification this year. The Eagles football team is still holding its own as they qualify for the playoffs. And as we see in this week's Chevy Spotlight, the Eagles marching band hasn't missed a beat either. In their first year of being in the state's largest classification, Dawson reached the UIL State Marching Contest, and a 16th place finish out of 245 bands in 6A is quite an accomplishment.
I look at them as if they're a small band that packs a pretty big punch. So we're more than honored to be a part of the state process, hanging with all of the other big dogs, so to speak. So I'm very proud of them, and it's very special, very special.
It's been really crazy because I think a lot of us were surprised to make it this far, but we're really thankful to make it this far, and I don't know, we're proud of ourselves.
What people don't understand about band is that it really is a team sport, and it's about compromise and it's about teamwork, and everyone has their role and everyone belongs, and we need everyone critically, direly. Everyone needs to play their part, and it's really awesome to see everyone work together, and we get really, really close as a family.
And that family was tested last year when one of its members, drummer Seth Blunt, lost his arm in a car accident.
When I found out, I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? Because everybody was saying the same thing, and I was like, there's no way that this has happened. And we were just concerned for his safety, first of all. We all went to the hospital, of course, and just to see like how he was doing. And then, of course, he's just cracking jokes, laughing it up like it's no big deal. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to march next year, you know. And I mean, he was ready for it, and I just think he's such a great individual.
Seth Blunt's attitude has been an inspiration to the team, but he says playing the drums with one arm was quite an adjustment. So did he have to relearn the technique?
Pretty much just everything. I've had to learn all new techniques and all new ways of marching, because even like the balance was strange. Just walking, marching, strange.
You might think it's hard for him, but whenever you see him or you hear him speak, I guarantee you for him, he makes it look very easy. It's my opinion that he hasn't had a challenge at all. He's such a great, positive person. He made the transition quite well.
How about those sweet sounds coming out of Pearland? The band has accomplished a lot, but obviously the commitment to excellence should translate into continued success for the Eagles. Well, gang, we are out of time for another week, but not to worry. We'll have all the action for you next week, playoff style. For everyone involved in the making of this program, I'm Matt Musil. Thanks so much for your support, and we'll see you right back here next Saturday morning at 8:30.